listeners. This is Evelyn Geller, current secretary for Suffolk County Women's Business Enterprise Coalition. And we're super excited today because we're launching our first podcast of the organization. And we're entitling this Small Business Talk with SCWBEC for female entrepreneurs that are right here on the Long Island market as well as the surrounding markets. Our focus really here with this podcast is to engage in conversations that are going to give our listeners practical tips, success stories, challenges, and insights that are intended to help our female business owners not only survive in the industries that they're in, but also to be able to thrive in today's competitive landscape. Well, second thing that we're excited about is that we have our current vice chair who's going to be joining us today, talking a little bit about the organization and where we're headed. So, Catherine Cordevaria, our current vice chair, welcome to our first podcast.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me here. I'm Evelyn with SCWBEC and our first podcast.
You know, as we launched a first podcast and we start thinking about the organization going forward, in September, we're going to be installing our new board, and that's going to include our executive board as well as our committee chairs. And you'll be the incoming chair to the organization. Very exciting time for us, for sure. And what I'd like for us to start is to really have a dialogue around what your vision for the future is for SCWBEC on behalf of all of our stakeholders, and that includes our members, our sponsors, our alliances, and even our leaders to the organization. So, Catherine, if you will, for a few minutes, why don't you share your vision for the future for SCWBEC?
Well, thank you for that question, Evelyn. And I think we don't have future without a past, right? So first of all, I want to honor all the past chairs and our current chair, Betsy Maniotis. As a woman entrepreneur, I embrace changes, being said that I am here to make a difference in the organization. And as entrepreneur, you would like to take risks. And the past 2 years is what we did. Actually, we established a new structure, and guess what? It worked. We have a wonderful executive board. You are here, Evelyn Geller, as our secretary, Peg McCoy as our treasurer, Liz Albanowski as our business development director. Both of them, they've been in the organization for many, many years. So the executive board cannot run the organization without our committee chairs. We have Sarah Miller as our Professional Development Committee Chair, Dina Klansky, our Membership Committee Chair, Kerry Pasamenti, our Sponsorship Committee Chair, Karina Bermeo and Nimau Vincent as our Operations Committee Chair, and Wendy Rodriguez as our Strategic Alliance and Social Media Collaborator. Amazing leaders with the right mindset willing to help our businesses community in Long Island. My vision is that every single woman that is looking to launch a business or seeking to grow come to our center and get the right information. I believe through education we can grow and create capacity for our membership to keep the value for our amazing sponsors, stakeholders, and alliances. I am 100% sure that the best is yet to come.
That is an incredible vision that you have there. And as you mentioned, it takes a village, right, to move this organization, because we're all volunteer leaders of the organization, but looking to give back to community and to build that community even stronger. Now, I want to pivot just for a second because I think that our listeners might want to hear a little bit of your path to this leadership, right? You just didn't show up yesterday and decide that you're going to be chair of the organization, right? You've grown with the organization, you've been involved, you've contributed in preparation for your leadership. So if you can tell us a little bit about your path, how you were introduced to SCWBEC, and perhaps a little bit about what you've done in the past prior to the role now as vice chair and chair into the future.
So actually, I established my business in 2015. So all the time I was looking to grow and know and learn about the community and how can I get network and expose my business. So I signed up in 2018 as a member, and immediately I fell in love with SCWBEC. So what I did was I signed up as a silver sponsor because I felt that their vision, it was my vision as well. So immediately I remember that I participate in the annual showcase where I learned to find a lot of amazing women entrepreneurs that they were seeking my business. So that one was the purpose actually, right? And same as well with 100 of women in that showcase, and it was amazing. So in 2019, I was invited to be membership director. And I did that role, I performed that role from 2019 to 2022. Just right after, in September 2022 to present, I am under the role as a vice chair, where I was able to grow as a leader, but also to bring my knowledge as an entrepreneur and excel in my role.
You know, when an individual makes a decision to volunteer as a leader, you're doing it first and foremost because you want to lead with a giving hand, right? Be able to give for others. But I think that secondarily, from a personal development perspective, it also gives you an opportunity to grow. And I think that's an important piece of this. And, you know, I think that perhaps one of the things that some of our listeners may be interested in learning is a little bit about the organization, you know, a little bit about the history, how long it's been around, because sometimes we got choices that we can make. What groups do we belong to? What associations do we align with? So why don't you share with us a little bit about the organizational history, just a little bit about who we are and what we do, and the why behind the organization?
Yes, of course. So Suffolk County Women Business Enterprise Coalition, SCWBEC, is the only organization of its kind on Long Island. So it was established back in 1990 for women that named Sally Slack and Linda Hasper to assist Long Island women-owned businesses with procurement bid opportunities while we maintain the core values of the organization, right? And now in 2024, we are more than 1,500 women entrepreneurs in Long Island that we are members in the organization. Also, SWIVEC is a non-for-profit organization. It's a 501(c)(3) supported through fundraising events and sponsorship. And guess what, Evelyn? I want all the audience know that SWIVEC is at no cost. So we don't charge for any membership, right? So all our members and sponsor, and even if you want to be an email subscriber, you can get information about the opportunities to promote your business through a sponsorship, networking, and membership meetings. And then also through the support of the sponsors, we are able to give $2,000 award every year for qualifying member. What an amazing is that?
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you said that the point of entry for membership is, again, the organization wants to lead with a giving hand, right? So there's no cost to become a member. You do have to qualify. You have to be at least 51% women-owned business to be a member, right? But once you engage as a member, there's other opportunities that people can take advantage of, right? You've mentioned sponsorship a couple of times, right? That's a really important thing. And I think that, you know, worth mentioning to our audience is the fact that as a growing organization, we're starting to realize that there are things that we need to do to be relevant. This podcast is a great example of that, right? In today's world, getting the message out and being able to market, right? And one other thing that we did this summer was to take on an administrative intern because as volunteer leaders, we need that support while we're running our businesses. And I'm going to do a quick shout out to Lisa Lebrano over at Farmingdale State University because she's been an amazing supporter. She put us introduced us to our summer intern, and Ariana Rivera, and she's here with us today. So I'm going to ask Ariana, just in her own words, to talk about her experience with SCWBEC. So Ariana.
Yes, hi everybody. I just want to thank SCWBEC for giving me an opportunity to intern with them. I've been interning with them since June of this summer, and it has been amazing. And I'm really grateful to learn more about businesses, women owned businesses, learning about entrepreneurs, and learning the different values and insights of women owned businesses here on Long Island. I've been able to grow professionally, especially because I am still a student. I will be getting my bachelor's in business this or next May, I should say. I'm very, very happy to be here today, and I just want to thank Catherine and Evelyn for being great mentors to me during this time.
Ariana, just on behalf of Catherine and myself, I want to say it's been a great honor, really, to mentor you. But it's also been a joy because we've had an opportunity to give back to the next generation and have that next generation, by the way, be able to mentor us as well, right? There was some reverse mentoring that was going on here, especially today during
Correct.
this podcast. So we want to thank you as well. It was our great honor. I want to mention a couple of things about engagement for our listeners that are out there. We are very excited. We've got two upcoming events that I want to mention. First of all, SWEBEC has its general meeting with all its members, alliances, and sponsors that come once a month. We come together. We meet at the Dennison Building in Hauppauge. Our next general meeting is August 8th. It kicks off at 8 a.m. We conclude the meeting at 10 o'clock. But let me tell you what you get for that time period that you spend with us. Number one is you have an opportunity to network with other female business owners that are there also to grow their businesses, right? And that's really what it's all about. You get to learn from one another, you get to network, and who knows what can come from those types of relationships. But we also provide professional content that will help you in your business. And for the month of August, we've actually asked a corporate attorney to come in. Her name is Jamie Johnson, and she's going to be speaking on how, as a business owner, it's really important to mitigate risk for some of the potential exposures that you have as business owners. So I would encourage all of our listeners to attend that. And then the second item that we have on the calendar is our summer mix and mingle. And again, that's another opportunity to meet our community of women that are out there making it happen, who are networking with each other, are directing and supporting one another. That's going to be happening on August 13th. We're at Nikki's on the Bay, so we'll get to see the sun go down because our event is from 4 to 7 o'clock on that date. Certainly visit our website. It's www. S as in Sam, C as in Charlie, W, B as in boy, E as in Evelyn, C as in Charlie.org. I had to pause there for a minute. I'll repeat it, www.scwbec.org for more information. But more importantly, make sure that you register for these events. We look forward to seeing you at both of them. You'll have an opportunity to meet the leadership, the members, everyone that is engaging in the organization. So with that being said, Catherine, are there any closing remarks that you have for our listeners?
Yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to call the office to 631-468-7050. I repeat again, 631-468-7050. And thank you so much for this first podcast.
Well, thank you to all of our listeners for joining on this. And with that,